So happy to be joined by not only Sabres Hall of Fame, Ryan Miller, but Sabres jersey retired Ryan Miller. Now, when you walk back into the building, do you peek up to the rafters and take a look and see if the banner's still straight and everything is aligning?
Yeah, I'm going to send George Babcock up there to make sure it's straight.
Hey, Georgie, you know all the times that I needed a new stick and something done with my pads, you need to take care of the banner.
Yeah, he's the only one crazy enough to do it. So.
He would be without any safety equipment. He'd go up, climb the railing by himself, and fix it.
Yeah, and he'd do a good job, too.
You know what? I was laughing because I was saying beforehand, is there anything you want to talk about? But now that we're on the George Babcock train, were you there the year that we went to a Phillies game and George started to climb the fence in at the Citizen Bank Park or whatever in Philadelphia, and not the police, but security started chasing him?
No, I wasn't at that. I wasn't at that ball game.
But you can picture what happened.
I think we could just probably make a lot of stuff up and try and decide what's true and what's not, and we'd probably get it all wrong.
That would be an amazing game. So, again, thank you for joining us. I mean, I derailed with George Babcock stories. How are you doing? How's the family?
I'm good. Everybody's good. Just a lot of good time with the kids, and it's a good time of life. You know?
How old are the kids now?
Our son Bodie is 8, and our daughter is 20 months. So we're creeping up on 2 here. So just fun. A lot of words, a lot of talking, a lot of running around. And so it's a cute stage, right?
It's definitely a cute stage. That's fun. And that's fun that you're home to be able to experience. Well, you're home. You're still busy in everything that you do. But
yeah, no, I'm definitely home. I think I told Bodie I was coming here, and he was just kind of like, wait, what? You're leaving? How long? Where are you going?
Why am I not going?
Yeah, why is this happening? So I think they've definitely gotten used to me being around in the last couple of years.
So he likes golf, but is he into other sports as well?
Yeah, no, he's playing hockey with the Junior Ducks.
Okay.
That's the area we live in. So he's doing well with that. He's really gotten into soccer, actually.
Soccer,
lately.
too,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's cool that he's has other interests, and actually soccer is kind of neck and neck, maybe even sliding out of hockey right now. He's been really obsessed, self-starting a lot, taking himself to the field and just practicing. And it's funny watching him. He's carrying like 3 and 4 balls, trying to figure out how to get 3 or 4 balls, down the street to the field and setting up, different situations.
You don't just want one. If you're going to practice, because if you kick it and you miss the net, you got to go get it. So you want 2 or 3 around to be able to be efficient in your time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just like going to the golf range or hockey. Dump a bucket of pucks out. It's a little different, but it's the same idea.
They have those mesh bags, right? That in soccer that they put like 8, 10, 12 balls and cones or whatever you can carry around. So
we're getting there.
Maybe for Christmas, who knows? Maybe that's a good idea.
It's a
good surprise for underneath
a good idea.
The Christmas tree. Okay. So you're in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Just out of a whim, wanted to come check it out? Anything special?
No, I just wanted to come to town. I wanted to see a game before things got too deep in the season.
Yep.
I just, like I said, I wanted to be around a little bit more, just check in. Want to see the team play, want to be around, want to see some people. And then, I think the Sabres, the idea was we're going to do some charity stuff at some point.
Yep.
We talked about early in the season. That wasn't probably the best timing. We talked about later being probably the ideal time. So I didn't want to just be in town once and be super busy. I want to check in, and then next time I come back, I can, have some more time.
Well, I know you're always busy when you come to Buffalo because you're popular, and there's a lot of people that want to see you. So we appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Sabres Live. You were in the region a couple of weeks back, but it was in Toronto for the Legends hockey game for the Hockey Hall of Fame. Put on the pads, play the whole game. Well, it's a whole game. It's like 2 periods, right?
Yeah,
or
they had running time, 2 halves.
2 halves, like 20-minute halves, whatnot, half-hour halves. But how was the experience? How was that?
No, it was good. It was a lot of fun. Honestly, I felt pretty good on the ice.
No, don't say that too loud. There's people listening that are going to comment on social media and say, "Oh, cite him up."
Yeah, no, but we talked about it before we came on air. It's like in the days that followed was a lot different than it used to be. But the preparation really wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
Like if you do months of preparation, you'll get the result you want. But with very minimal preparation, such as skating with the Junior Ducks, 8-year-olds once, and just putting around as a coach. I wasn't really doing anything on the ice, but I think if I did train and skate, I could feel okay.
Well, I'm sure you would feel okay. You still look fantastic. It looks like you haven't gained a pound after a year and a half of retirement. I think I had put on 15 by that point. So
no, you know me. It takes a lot of effort to gain weight. So.
Which has always been good. Craig Anderson, who was on the ice this morning with the Sabres morning skate, by the way, donning his Legends Hall of Fame custom equipment, and Henrik Lundqvist were on the ice for that game. How fun was it to just get to be with guys that you competed for a long time and not have to worry about who was going to win and lose at the end of the night?
Yeah, no, it was fun. I never really got a ton of time with Hank in our whole career. It was just kind of that thing where I think we ran into each other a few times at like media stuff, but that's never a time to really connect. And then of course he was busy at the Hall of Fame, so I think we got like 3 or 4 minutes to chat, and that's probably the most we ever got. So that was nice to catch up with a fellow goalie. And then Craig I've known forever since we played juniors against each other, and we all the way up we've been running into each other. So it's great to see him on the ice today. I think he probably bit off a little more than he could chew today.
There was a lot of steam coming out from the equipment. I'll tell you that.
But God bless him, because he still looks great, obviously. But it's when you stop training and conditioning yourself, it's a big ask. Yeah,
and especially if you didn't know you were going to go on the ice, and then last second they're like, hey, why don't you join us for practice?
Can you help us out here?
Yeah, we need somebody to take some shots. So being a shooter-tooter, a target is never a good thing.
Yeah.
But it happened. Now, I mean, that is the Hall of Fame weekend. Mm-hmm. You are one of the great to have played the game. There was 3 goalies going into the Hall of Fame this time around with Vernon, Barrasso, and Lundqvist. Did it make you start thinking, like, I don't know, maybe one day I could find myself here? I mean, we can start the promotional stuff here on Sabres Live. We can be the force that's going to lead the charge. Ryan Miller, Hockey Hall of Fame, 2026, would that be? Maybe 27? But anyway, I'm just saying we can start it.
That would be appreciated. No, but it's certainly something where you don't have any control, right? It's something where, your body of work already exists, and it is up to people's feeling about that body of work, right? So my feeling about my body of work is I did the best I could do. I am proud of the way I left it, and that will always be my feeling. So the way other people feel about it is their own feelings about it. So you can't control that, and it's something that I enjoy kind of keeping in that space, because then everything it feels good. Like coming back for like last year, the Sabres, the Hall of Fame of the Sabres, and jersey retirement is like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I didn't expect it, honestly. Like you keep yourself in a place where you're happy about what you've accomplished. And if other people want to acknowledge that, great. Then I think then those experiences become actually more meaningful for me.
Yeah.
If you have these expectations, I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes you can be disappointed. And who would be disappointed to say you had the career you had, and that, I mean, the Hall of Fame is the cherry that's on the very top, right? And it's maybe the triple and quadruple cherry. Like, it's not just one.
I mean, when you see the face of the like Mike Vernon,
yeah,
he looked like he was in heaven.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and just seeing that group go in and talking to them, but especially seeing him, he was so happy.
Yeah.
So it is obviously you look at that and you're like, wow, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be really cool.
But at the same time, like you said, I'm happy. You start from pretty humble beginnings, and you just have to be happy with what you got.
Well, that's a great way to look at it. But now, career is over, and you decided to jump right back into a new role with the San Jose Sharks. Your buddy Mike Greer called.
calls you.
You couldn't say no, right? It was like, hey, we'd like you to come and kind of be in charge of our goalie department and see where that goes. So how has that been with the Sharks and that work that you have to do?
See, if it was like Danny B, I mean, I have to think twice.
Oh, really? Okay. What if it was Chris
But it's
Drury?
Greersy.
What if it's Drury?
I don't know.
You think about it.
Drew, I don't know. But Greersy, you gotta say yes to Greersy.
No, you say that. It's kind of funny that there's so many of our former teammates that are now in charge of teams, right?
Well, it kind of speaks to the kind of team we had, right?
Yes.
Like the guys we're talented, but it also like, they exist on that other level of like they think the game in a certain way. So that's the cool part.
Even the Adam Mayer, who's doing such a great job here with development and all of it. You think about it, there's so many of those players that have found a spot in hockey after their career.
Yeah, and guys at different levels too. Coletta, JP Dumont.
Yep.
Vanek's working at the Sharks now, edging his way in because he's a really good hockey mind too. So, you're going to see a lot more of it.
Yeah.
But the job with the Sharks, Evgeny Nabokov's heading up that department.
Yep.
And Thomas Spears taking the full-time NHL goalie coach role. So Gersey brought me in, definitely spread between departments. So working a lot of watching amateur scouting video right now, just trying to get up to speed on some guys to identify for later in the year. And then kind of longer-term projection. If I'm in town, I can help out with the Barracuda guys. So like last week, we kind of combined a trip. So we had Noreen's sister lives in Carmel, and then our junior Ducks had a San Jose tournament like a couple days after Thanksgiving. So we had Thanksgiving up there. We went to Pebble Beach, which was awesome. Did that, and then we went up to San Jose, and then I actually got to do some work up there too. So it was kind of a cool little week trip where got to touch on going to Pebble Beach, which is badass.
Did you play?
Yeah.
Nice.
My brother-in-law's friend works for the company.
Okay.
And he helped set it all up. And Bodie played with us.
No way.
He was chatting up the caddies.
How
the
did
whole
that
time.
part 3 go? What club and what was the end result right by the ocean there? That's number 7?
That's the famous 58 degree, hit the green.
Hit the green,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bodie, we gave him an extra shot, but Bodie put one kind of next to the green, but kind of out of play. So no, you got to hit another. He hit one a little short, and he chipped up. So he made like a 20-foot putt, but he made like a 4. And whoa, that's pretty good.
It's a par, but in the second ball, we'll forget about the first one. We'll give him a mulligan on that one.
No, I was pumped because number 6, the one before, is a par 5 up the cliff. That's like my favorite hole, like from watching.
Yes.
And I actually get to say this on air. I birdied it.
Oh, good, okay.
So that was pretty cool. I was like, okay, round's done. Let's just go.
I'm done. Good. I've done enough.
After that, it was just like, whatever.
That's awesome. So that's good. You got to do some personal time and some family time, and then you got to do some work. So combine it. Are you spending a lot of time in front of the computers?
Yeah.
Like screens and videos and.
Yeah, learning how to do that. My biggest thing right now is trying to learn the difference between the leagues for shooters. Like I think as a goalie, like it's just hard to tell what these guys are facing league to league, right? Because some leagues have more guys who are of a certain age. Some leagues have guys who are younger, older. It's just you're trying to kind of feel what kind of shot they're getting.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of learning what they look like. And the crazy part for me is like they all look so good because all the kids now are just so good with their footwork compared to like our generation where you really had to kind of get to a certain level and you're like, oh, everyone's footwork was pretty good and strong, but now they're just smooth.
The structure is out of this world. Like you talk about 8, 9-year-old, but in a few years from now you'll be seeing your son playing Pee Wee and minor Bantam, and you're going to think, wow, these guys look better than we did as NHL goaltenders in the way that they move and their technical abilities. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's stuff that we had to kind of explore, like post integration and things like that. That wasn't a thing when we were coming up. Like it was like you go to the post, you stand there. You go to the post, maybe you put your knee down, and reversing into the post to give you access to the other post or the backside is just. It's something that we were. I mean, I remember handling it a different way, and then I think Jonas Enroth was trying to do the reverse VH, and we worked on it for like preseason, and then that season was a transition year, and then next year it's all we were doing for a while, and so I mean that was definitely a late addition.
Your good buddy Jonathan Quick that kind of got the ball going right with the success in LA, and how athletic and acrobatic he was able to do it. Quickly on the Sabres, because you do goalie development, and we'll get your opinion on Devin Levi now in Rochester. I feel like that's probably the best thing for him right now to keep playing. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has had a really good start this season. Looks good. Comrie started well, got hurt. Now he's trying to find his rhythm. Where do you see the three goalies kind of and what you've seen or what you've talked to around the league? Like, where do you see this crease going with the Sabres?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say, with the three goalie system still. You definitely want Levi playing.
Yeah.
I think, we both had that experience where as a young goalie, you want to, build some games, build some experience quickly.
And Rochester was good to both of us, amazing to both of us. So it would be good for Levi as well.
I still see the big value in it.
Yeah.
I think, when you're there at the time, you're in your mind, you're like, I want to be in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think when you can honestly look back and see what kind of player you are, and at that point, you don't want to admit it, but you have to iron some stuff out. You have to play a lot of games. You have to experiment a little bit with some things, and they have to go right or wrong, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's it's not a bad thing at all, and I think it's actually a rite of passage in a way. Same thing with UPL. Like, he had to put some time in, and he's had to recover from some pretty big and substantial absences in his career where his injuries took him out for long chunks. So he's finally getting some time that's not always smooth, but it's a long stretch of time where he can, feel like he's playing consistent hockey where he's not hurt. And then Comrie, always tough to come off the injury, and now that he's more the veteran guy, he's not the young guy who's, for me it's hard because Eric, he trained with me out in California.
Yeah, you have that relationship with him.
So I do have that relationship with him. So it's kind of like, man, I just remember him being a young kid coming out of the midgets and starting juniors and starting to get hot. And now he's like the veteran guy on a team that I used to play for. So it's kind of hilarious. But, he's got a lot of, the injury's got a lot of life changes too. He's got a baby at home now. So it's an interesting crease at the moment. But I know that from watching, and you got three very professional guys, guys who really have impressed me in their commitment to, getting to the next level. And we'll see who kind of comes out of it right now, because you want somebody to stand out and kind of take charge.
Well, Ryan, I appreciate you taking the time. I know people are going to say it'd be great to see Millsy back in the net. Some people want me back in the net sometimes. I keep telling them I will be sitting at the end of the bench, and I will provide you with the water and the Gatorade and the towel during commercial breaks. So if you want to make a comeback, I'll return as your backup just for one night and one night only. Does that work?
How about we split the game so we don't die?
No, I'm not even doing that. So, Millsy, thanks again. Welcome back to Buffalo.